Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, it's a little bit unorthodox for me to put this up, but I found this, and there's actually some film footage taken in 1898 of people playing ice hockey. So this is actually a pretty big deal because you know hockey is one of the sports that is probably goes back. Civilizations upon civilizations had their own form because it was so easy to get a stick from a tree and a ball, or two sticks from a tree and a ball, and push it around on the ground. Just like it was easier to throw it in the air and hit it, or turn that stick into a basket and hang it somewhere, and somebody had to, throw it around a tree bend or something and get a ball into a hoop, a basket, a goalie net, etc. So this is actually quite amazing, and I'm actually very excited to bring this to you. I know this isn't something I usually bring, but ice hockey is believed to have evolved from simple stick and ball games from the 18th and 19th century in the United Kingdom and elsewhere. These games were brought to Canada and the United States, and several similar winter games using informal rules were developed, such as shinny and ice polo. The contemporary sport of ice hockey was actually developed in Canada, most notably in Montreal. Where the first indoor hockey game was played March 3 of 1875. I bet you did not know that. Honestly, I did not know that. So this was the first game was played March 3, 1875 in recorded history, supposedly. Some characteristics of that game, such as the length of the ice rink and the use of a puck, have been retained to this day. Amateur ice hockey leagues began in the 1880s. Professional ice hockey originated in 1900. And the Stanley Cup, emblematic of ice hockey club supremacy, was actually introduced and awarded in 1893 to recognize the Canadian amateur champion, and later became champion trophy of the NHL. In early 1900s, Canadian rules were adopted by the Ligue of International de Hockey sur Glace, the precursor to the IIHF, and the sport was played for the first time in the Olympics in the Games of 1920. I actually had no idea of this, folks. I know that it was well known in Canada, but I did not know that it actually pretty much originated in Canada. I had no knowledge of that. I had no knowledge of any of that sort. And even if I was taught it in school, I'm pretty certain with the pro-U.S. slant of the schools that I went to growing up, even having family come over from Canada, I would have never been given this formal of a study session on ice hockey, or hockey for that matter at all. I'm actually quite happy to bring this to you, and there's an actual video here, and we'll go into this in a minute. It is a video. It should be playing. Let's see if it plays. There we go. I hope it plays and doesn't just hang up on me. Hang on. It's loading. So as it loads, folks, we'll get to it in a second. If it doesn't load, you'll just click the link, and I'm sure it'll load on your browser a lot faster than it's loading on mine. Here we go. Well, it isn't loading. It probably won't load, but let me just get into the information for a minute. The name hockey has no clear origin. the first known mention of it's in a 1773 book, Juvenile Sports and Pastimes, to which... Oh, here we go. You're missing stuff. So this was supposedly from 1890, folks. Oddly enough, not much different than what you would recognize today. So, very interesting, folks. So, anyways, the first mention was in a 1773 book called Juvenile Sports and Pastimes, to which are prefix memoirs of the author, including A New Mode of Infant Education by Richard Johnson, don't care who, which there was a chapter 9 announcement was titled New Improvements on the Game of Hockey. The belief that hockey was mentioned in a 1363 proclamation by King Edward III of England is based on a modern translations of the proclamation, which was originally in Latin, explicitly forbade the game pilum, mulum, pedvilum, and